Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy of The Man Crisis in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today. Last week, 3 New York City police officers committed suicide in less than 9 days. And while many people see each of these suicides as isolated incidents, I see them as another series of incidents in America's growing man crisis. Now, when I take a critical examination of these 3 police officers' suicides, I see 3 men in crisis and 3 men who didn't get the help that they needed. And I believe that they didn't get the help that they needed because when it comes down to many men out there, many men believe that it's not manly for them to go out here and seek out help for their mental health issues. And because of the way we have raised men over the last 50 years, we have a lot of men out here who believe that it's supposed to be manly to keep their problems to themselves, and if they're feeling deeply troubled about something, then it's for them to hold it in, because holding their problems in and trying to deal with them on their own is part of being a man. However, that's not part of being a man, and a man has to understand when he just can't handle things, and that it's okay to admit that you can't handle things and that you need help. And this is something many men aren't learning, and because they aren't learning that it's okay to admit that you need help, they try to hold their problems to themselves, keep their problems to themselves, and they pack those problems down on of their emotions like TNT. Eventually, those problems wind up welling to the surface, and these men, because they are so frustrated and angry, wind up exploding in a rage where they wind up destroying their own lives because they feel like they have no hope, they feel like they can't change anything, and they feel like they cannot go out to seek out other help because they believe it will make them less of a man if they go out here and try to seek out help from licensed psychotherapists, mental health counselors, and even men's groups and family members. And when it comes down to many men, they have to understand it does not make you less of a man to seek out help. In fact, it shows that you have tremendous character when you go out here and seek out help when you are having troubles in your life, because it takes a man of great character to go out here and admit that there are some problems he just can't handle, some problems he just can't solve on his own, and that there are some things that he needs help to work with. And that takes a tremendous amount of character, because it shows that that man is making efforts to acknowledge the problem and work constructively towards the solution. And when it comes down to a lot of police officers out there, a lot of cops, they work towards solving problems and resolving conflicts in other people's lives, but don't believe that they need the same help in resolving their own problems. And because they believe that they don't need that help, a lot of them hold a lot of things in, a lot of them hold a lot of anger in, and that leads to a lot of these officers suffering in silence when there's actual help out there for them so that they can receive counseling for the issues they're having, whether they be marital issues, whether they be relationship issues, or even issues on the job as related to police policy, or behaviors that they believe are going on in the police precinct that are illegal or dangerous. There are places for a police officer to get help for themselves. There's no need for any man to suffer in silence, and when it comes down to many men, they need to understand that it's okay to go out and seek help, because
it's better for a man to admit that he does need help for the problems he has in his life rather than sit here, suffer in silence, and then self-destruct by taking their own lives. And if any, when it comes down to a lot of men, this is the solution that they believe they have to do because they believe that the only way out is through suicide. However, there is another way out for a man, and a man has to be able to understand that he has to swallow his pride and go out here and seek out this help. Now, some people will say that some of these officers might have committed some sort of crimes and it got back to their conscience. However, still, these individuals could have gone out here and gotten the help that they needed, because there's no need for a man to feel like he has to take his own life when all he has to do is have the courage to acknowledge his problems, confront his problems, and then make efforts towards solving his problems. Because there are numerous resources for men out there who are having troubles in their lives, whether it be a licensed psychotherapist, a mental health counselor, or even men's groups or YouTube videos that discuss men's issues. There are numerous places and platforms for a man to go and get the help that he needs and not be suffering in silence. And I'm hoping more men go out here and instead of them thinking about taking their lives, think about taking an opportunity to go seek out that help, because no man out here will shame you for seeking help. In fact, men will have greater respect for you when you go out here and seek out help, because it's better to seek out help in the open than suffer in silence. And if more men go out here and understand that it's okay to seek out that help, maybe we can stop so many men from suffering in silence, and maybe we can put an end to the man crisis sooner rather than later. If you'd like to learn more about the things that trouble men and lead them to committing suicide or feeling like they have to participate in a spectrum of violent behaviors, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, in paperback and ebook formats on Amazon.com, Smashwords, Barnes & Noble, and the iBookstore. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and coming to Kindle Unlimited, John Haynes, Dark Succubus. The man who rules the world is tempted by a sultry succubus in this all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get John Haynes, Dark Succubus in paperback or pre-order on Kindle Unlimited today.